Dinky-Doo, me hearties. A very, very good evening to you. 'Tis me, Scottie McClue. We are, of course, live on the big one, YouTube, just for you, saying Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our live stream for tonight, Tuesday, the 11th of August. Doesn't time fly when you're enjoying yourselves? Tempers fugit, I say. Right, let's just see who we've got here. Lee Harrison has joined us. Dinky-Doo, Scottie, hope you've had a good day. Excellent day, Lee. Good evening, Scottie. Dinky-Doo, says the wonderful Glenn Peacock in Sheffield. Fantastic. Excellent, Glenn. Welcome. Good evening, Lee, mate. Good evening, Scottie. Can you give a big shout out to my mum, Linda? It's her birthday today, Linda in Sheffield. Glenn's a very, very happy birthday to you. Many happy returns and many, many happy birthdays for today and to come from everybody in the nation. Going out live on YouTube. That's there forever. When you play it back, you'll hear your birthday wishes. Dinky-Doo and bless you. Fantastic. Lovely, lovely stuff. Evening, Scottie. Evening, Glenn and Lee. Good evening, Glenn. Good evening, Catherine. Scottie, have you recovered? Coming out clubbing last night. That was so cool. Catherine, I thought you might enjoy that. You know, you were out at your whizzing on social media. So I thought I'll just join in. Excellent stuff and say hi. Fantastic. And good evening, Scottie. Good evening, everyone. Dinky-Doo, Craig Cochrane. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. Evening, Lord McClue. Dinky-Doo, says the Archie. Thanks, Lee. I hope you're both well. I am Glenn, says Catherine. Evening, Scottie. Liked and shared, says the wonderful Stephen Douglas. Good man, Stephen. Dinky-Doo, Scottie, says Paul Acos. Are you doing a late night stream tonight, says Glenn? No, Glenn, we're doing this stream for now. So they are one at a time, you see? One at a time. Excellent stuff. I'm not sure if this will be the last stream we do for a wee while. Maybe we'll squeeze in tomorrow night as well. But it's certainly been a blast. Did you enjoy yourself, Scottie? I think you'll be surprised, a few folks in the racing. It was so cool. Fantastic. Did you share it then, Catherine? Because I just posted. Evening, everyone, says the wonderful Alistair Campbell. Alistair, it's lovely to have you with us. You are so dependable. Yes, and that's a huge compliment. Who has not liked? There must be about a dozen of you watching who haven't liked. Tot, 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 tot. Remember, liking is the first thing we do when we come on. Fantastic. Right. And we'll get a bit of sharing going as well. Evening, everyone. Excellent stuff. No, it was wonderful, Catherine. What's the setup? I mean, is it a little party you all get together for lockdown and have a bop? I was pleased to see your tweet that you were doing a stream tonight. I've not been feeling great, so you've cheered me up. Bless you, Craig. Yes, I thought, no, let's do a stream tonight. And please retweet all that stuff. Send it round. You can never do too much sharing. It's fantastic. More likes, please, guys. Come on. Still about half a dozen of you need to like. Liked, shared, retweeted. Job done, Craig. That's pretty cool. I have to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. Scottie, my house was knocked down with thunder today. My next is also made from wood, but 2 doors down was okay as it's made of bricks. The Archie, are you working me from the back? Tell me more about this. Oh my goodness me, because there's quite a storm last night. More likes, please. Another 2 or 3 of these. So there we are. And we need to get sharing. Right, let's get sharing right away. Very, very très important, as we'd say en français. Yes, and we need to get the subscriptions up, guys. So share it with all your friends and say to them, subscribe, and send them the URL as well. Say, look, here's the URL. People say, have you noticed people are getting a bit lazy on the internet? And you go, oh, you want to see this? And they go, yeah, send me the link. You think, find it yourself. Send me the link. But if you can send out the link, guys, that would just be so beautiful. You're lovely, lovely people. And it just gives us all a better start in the game. I think that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Right. Now, what I'm going to do, got a bit of sharing here. I shall share this. Just copy that. And we'll send this out to let them know that we are live now. I think that's so cool. It is so cool to say live now. Scotty's live streaming now. And send it out. What about the three little pigs and the wolf, Scotty? Oh, the Archie. They huffed and they puffed. Craig, can you get some good food down you? Plenty rest and water. Hope you're feeling much better soon. Good for you, Catherine. You're very, very good. Scotty, what will happen when the podcasts finish? In what respect, Glenn? I'm not quite with you. They'll just stop, but we'll maybe get some more going, you know. I would keep your notifications to hand till we see what happens, you see. So wonderful, wonderful. Three little pigs and Mr. Wolf. Pigs might fly, Craig, says Glenn. Absolutely. The flying pigs. We always used to say that, when they say, oh, yes, that's going to happen. Aye, pigs might fly. It's wonderful. What do you think of all the channel crossings? I'm getting very anxious that people are putting out a lot of about 4,000 immigrants are coming in with these little boats. Why don't they stop the racket and actually legitimize them at the other side and say, you want to go to the UK? Okay, well, let's get you all processed, find out what sort of work you could do, because the UK does have rules, and then we'll get you over on a proper ferry, never mind the crims. That sort of idea. And that would knock out the middleman, because coming in illegally, they're just going to get sent back anyway, aren't they? But I was hearing about maritime law, which is very humane. Doesn't matter what anybody's background or where they're from or anything. Your job is to rescue them, a bit like a doctor with his Hippocratic oath. Doctors take a Hippocratic oath coming from Hippocrates, going back to the Greek. And that is to save life. Well, at sea, they have the same idea. Now, let me just get this. A wee bit of concentration required, because I'm just going to go to the live now and let everybody know what's happening. Live now. Join in. Yes, live now. Join in. There we are. And I'll pop the URL. Live now, join in. URL, guys. Oh, wait a minute. I need to pop in a capital I there. Right. Pardon me. URL, here we are. Who can remember the URL? It's www.youtube.com. youtube.com/user/SCOTTIE McCLUE1. There we are. So we're going to get that, and I'll just take a wee copy of all that, you see, and then what we can do, I'll take a wee copy of all that. Hang on a second. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my goodness. Right. Okay, that's that, and that's that, and off we jolly well go. So I've just done a bit of sharing. If you can do the same. Right, who do we have here? Thank you, Catherine. I'm drinking plenty, but need to watch what I'm eating. It's a flare-up of my Crohn's. Ah, Craig, the Crohn's. I have a dear friend who suffers from Crohn's, so I know all about it. Scotty, you're pulling me from the back. Working you from the back, Glenn. So there we are. Working you from the back, dear boy. But no, when you say what happens, what happens? That's it, Catherine's got a big smiley face there with the sharing. Excellent. You won't get France working with the UK government, not after the Brexit fiasco. Well, this is it, Paul Acos, because if we had still been in Europe, then Europe would have said, look, we'll sort this for you. But, of course, big dafties here thought, let's just leave Europe. Let's come away from the world's top trading market and have nothing, and then we can do some imaginary deals with other nations. Nothing exists at the moment. It's like me giving up a good job and somebody saying, what is it you're doing now? Oh, no, nothing. Why did you give up the job? Just thought it was a good idea, you know what I mean? Give up all the money and have nothing. You know, and that's Brexit in a nutshell. Scottie, I'll need counselling after all this stops. My brain's trained into 8 p.m. at night. Maybe at 8 p.m. I should pop up and say, hi, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Dinky-Doo. And just disappear again. Would that help? Late again, says Davy Young. Davy Young. Tot, tot, tottity, tot, 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 tot. Having said that, there is no punishment or sanction for being late to join Scottie McClue because you've already suffered enough. You've missed a moment of McClue. Tot, tot, tottity, tot. Craig, did you get bitten by a tick? No, that's Lyme's disease, the Archie. Crohn's disease is when there's a sort of, am I right? Is this the right word for it? A necromosis in the intestine. And your intestine lets you down a little bit at times. Did you ever watch Shameless, Scottie? It's back at Channel 4 from tonight's Series 1. I didn't, Glenn. What's it all about? Shameless sounds incredible. Dinky-Doo, Scottie, says the wonderful Eddie Doyle. Dinky-Doo, Eddie, lovely to have you with us. And welcome, welcome, welcome. So there you are. Glenn, maybe you and Thomas could do a stream together, says Craig. Yes, what about that? So there we are. That's when Glenn says, pigs might fly. So there we are. Craig, yep, you got to shop around to get some superfoods. Look on YouTube for some information. There's Catherine, spot on there, Craig, you see. Very wise woman. So there we are. Dinky-Doo, hi, Stephen. Craig, have you ever looked into probiotics and digesticymes? So there we are. That sounds like some sort of enzymes. Alistair, what does that do? Does it start to repair the cells or something like that? Yes, Scottie, if the stream stops, you'll have to pop up and make sure we're all behaving. I know we'll have to do 5 minutes a night to see everybody's there. And you've got to be there for the whole 5 minutes or you get marked down. So there we are. Oh, what about that as well? Big turnaround in the examinations from the Scottish Government. Well done them, I say. So there we go. Of course, Scottie, what am I thinking? Crohn's and ticks, thank you. I sit corrected. You sit corrected, the Archie, no problem at all. You don't have to stand when McClue comes into the room. You can sit and be corrected. Why are you looking at stopping the live stream, Scottie? Because I may have to go back to my day job, Lee, you see, which requires rather a lot of work at night as well. I have not, Alistair. Scottie, I want us to leave the EU. Stephen Martin, why? Right, you need to come up because there is no argument for leaving and there's no reason for us leaving. I have not, Alistair, says Craig. Scottie wants to leave the EU and not really because of any financial gain. Do you support devolution to Wales, Scotland? I think countries should be governed 100% by stroke answerable to their citizens. Yes, well, that's not quite how this country works. So if your countries were going independent, you would still want to have Her Majesty the Queen as the head of state for these countries. That would be axiomatic, right? So they can't just wander off on their own. But once that's sorted out, I mean, if you look right now, what is Westminster doing for Scotland? What's Westminster doing for Wales? What's Westminster doing for Northern Ireland? You see what I mean? The last thing they've done is taken us all out of Europe. So we no longer have a place at the big table. We are now nobody. We're just nobody. Whereas over the last 50 years of peace and prosperity, we'd built a very healthy holding in the whole market of 510 million people and 28 countries. And with our dear friends and allies, Germany had built up a controlling interest of over 30% of the whole market. Very, very powerful. So we were sitting at the big table and we were a somebody. Then along comes the dafties. We have Brexit, the xenophobes and the hooray Henrys who will gain financially, took us out of Europe and we are now nobody. We don't have a seat at the big table. And all this talk of trade deals, we could go to America, China, Australia, New Zealand and say, do you want to do a trade deal with us? It'll cost you. And they go, no, thanks. No, thanks. No, we tend to deal with Europe. So there we are. The actor David Threlfall, he plays Frank Gallagher on A Council Estate. He also played Tommy Cooper. I know him very well. I think I have seen David Threlfall play Prince Charles in the Diana story. Would that be right? Hey, says Cameron Stokes, 1, 2, 3. Cameron, lovely to have you with us. Hey, Cameron, Wolves have just missed a penalty. Glenn, I hope you're multitasking, right? Because there's never an excuse not to watch Scottie McClue. You know, we know that. Now, guys, I need more likes, like. So get these thumbs up right now. It's not too much to ask. It's a click of your mouse or a tap of your wee finger, and that's you liked it. You'll see a wee thumbs up sign at the bottom right of the big picture of McClue, down beside your chat. Yes, so just give us a nice like there, and that's fantastic. Scotland is in suspended animation. The Archie 61, I genuinely think you are correct. It is indeed. But there are a lot of moves to stop Scotland going independent. There's talk of rebuilding what would have been the old Scottish office, sending a lot of civil servants up, like we had them at St Andrew's House and the St James's Centre in Edinburgh, big for civil service, the headquarters of economics, all that sort of stuff. So they're sending a lot of people up. But I thought, if we do, or when we become independent, that will serve as the English embassy, you know? So there we are. So it'd be quite good from that point of view. But there's no real argument for Scotland not to be independent. And I'm not political, as you well know. In fact, I am apolitical. Yes, that's correct, Scotty. He was Prince Charles. There you go, Glenn Peacock, Diana, her true story, and David Threlfall was an excellent Prince Charles. Did you see the First Minister gave 2 Scottish clubs a strict yellow card? Yes, I'll do the same myself. I'll do it properly, football ref style. You know, that's the stuff, isn't it? You don't mess with McClue, I say. I don't think I'd ever like to be a football referee. What a job. Actual fact, the guy that's taking over as the head of the Tory party in Scotland, in the Scottish Parliament, he's a football referee, so very interesting. There we are. Talented carnivores. I know seals can balance a ball, but wolves playing football, yes, they do. But there'll be a lot of woo when there's a penalty or something like that. Hi, Scotty, my friend. Good day to you, sir. Jerry boy, how lovely to have you with us. And Dinky-Doo. This is just tremendous. Jerry, it may be our last one tonight or tomorrow night for a wee while. So there we are. So we might have to rest the stream. Going to do a bit of sharing. Catherine Raven, that's fantastic. Catherine told me, I think she has to go and share. They'll be wondering, lol, woo! Lovely stuff, isn't it? Right, I'm going to do a bit more sharing, guys. Can you all do the same, please? We need to let everybody know that this is on. Otherwise, as we'd say in Lancashire, what's point? What's point? Well, right, well, what's point? You know, Yorkshire as well, what's point? Isn't it, Glenn? That's it. You say, well, what's point of that? What's point? You know, that's the stuff. Wonderful. Whoa! This video is not available, so I shall take that. There we go. We mix up tonight. Did you all get your advance notification? I call it advance warning. Your advance notification that McClue was on the go. Fantastic. We love all that. Whoa. There we are. Now, I was thinking when I was watching, it would have been hilarious if she'd pulled out a bit of paper with a yellow on it, the way McClue does it. Yes, that's right. She should have done. I'm not sure if she watches McClue. Ethan, thoughts on the SQA's grading system? Yes, big changes there, guys. Big changes. Too much info, Eddie, says the Archie. I'm just sitting here tucking into a ruby, Scotty. Ah, yes, Eddie Doyle. A ruby Murray, a chick Murray, a wee curry. Very nice. What have you got? What are you having? Did you weaken and go for chips as well as Nan? You know, we've all done it. Come on, fess up, front up, I say. There we are. Scotty, don't certain people will throw their dummies. Don't. Certain people will throw their dummies out of the pram. Well, Glenn, no, but I mean, we have to, you know what I mean? Are you a football fan, Glenn, says Lee Housen? Yes, I'm a football fan, Lee. You? We're not talking about football on here, guys, remember? When you talk about being at the table, we will be the second biggest customer of the EU, spending net 80 billion to 100 billion. The EU is obligated to act in the best economic interests of its members. And Stephen Martin, would it not have done a great job if we'd stayed in? Anyway, your day job, Scotty, are you on radio? No, I do other things during the day. I haven't had any notifications for over a week now. Susan Forrest, why is this? Have you tapped the bell? If not, go back in, check your subscribe, tap the bell, I say, just in case there's something going on that we don't know about. Do you know what I mean? Stephen Martin, hi, I liked you in Father of the Bride. Fantastic, wonderful. Has everybody had their notifications of McClue going live? Guys, we need to do more sharing or we'll have no audience. You say I have to pop up and talk to you, but I mean, if we don't share, we'll end up with no audience. People say, I never knew that was on. I'd have loved to have seen that. Is it Scotty himself? Wow, I'd have loved that. I never knew he was on. Never knew he was on. All that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? The usual carry on. What's it? Is this, was he on the radio? No, he's on YouTube. Oh, I don't know how to get that. Away. Yes, Glenn, I'm a Barnsley supporter. Barnsley, Lee. You're quite right, Lee. I'm all ticked and subscribed. All ticked and subscribed, Susan. Bless you. I thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we are. That's how we say thank you. Wonderful stuff. Right, I'm just going to do a bit more sharing. Can we all do the same? Share, share, share it, share. Share it, share, 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 share. And this time, I think what I'll do, I'll share to the big Scottie McClue page. That's always the one, isn't it? The big Scottie McClue page on Facebook. Are you all members of Scottie McClue on Facebook? Have you joined the group as well? That's very important as well, I say. Right, so this is the big one. That's the big Scottie McClue. So it's the Scottie McClue page on Facebook. There's two things. There's scottie.mcclue.9. That's where we do our live streaming when we're live streaming on Facebook, which we've done a lot of. I noticed that we're coming up 4 years since I did my first one. Is that not amazing? 4 years since I did my first one. Oh, wow. It's quite humbling, actually. And thousands upon thousands of you have seen it. You know, I mean, you won't have seen the lot, but they're there. And it's quite a library. And although I say it myself, if it was television programs, there'd be millions and millions had seen them. So we need to get the word out there. I should have been growing the channel. A lot of it's my fault as well. I should have been growing the channel over the piece, as we say. Over the piece. Have you ever heard that one? Fantastic. Hello, Tony. What do we got here? All ticked and subscribes to the wonderful Susan Forrest. Glenn Peacock, how much green tea and mint did you drink each day to lose weight? Says Eddie Doyle. Hello, Tony. Hope you are good. Hello, Mrs. Mac. I support Sheffield Wednesday, Lee, but Scottie won't allow this chat. Well, no, because then it turns into a football phone-in. Do you see what I mean? Which I know you're all sadly missing on the radio. And I know you're missing the big Scottie McClue talk phone-ins as well, because it's all just the same kind of music. Every radio station's really just the same. And it's just crying out for a big talk show. And I understand that. But I no longer own a radio station. And, courtesy of a very poor steward. So I don't own a radio station. And the problem with that is I can't change it for you. But who knows? Maybe a very, very wealthy person will buy me a radio station and I shall run it for them. That would be the way ahead, wouldn't it? And then we could get the chat going. Wonderful, wonderful. What else have I got here? Oh, yes. This is the ticket. This is the ticket, guys. Right, talk show. There we are. And good. Right. Now, I'm just putting out some marvelous, marvelous stuff here. There we are. And you should do the same, guys. Oh. You get great ideas all the time. You see, it's interesting when you think creatively, as I sort of have now, I suppose all my life, you get ideas all the time. Hello, Scottie, how are you today? Hello all, what a beautiful night. Kareem Zachariah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you with us. How was your day? Tap the bell, let you know class has started. Jerry boy, you're 100% correct, as always. We love all that. Hello, Tony, hope you're good. So there we go. Glenn, what were you wanting to talk about? The football. Got all the alerts, says Alistair. Good, Alistair. Did you get something about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half before and then one at half an hour, that sort of idea? Sorry, Glenn, I thought it was you who mentioned it. Eddie, I don't drink green tea and mint. Who mentioned green tea and mint? You made it, Kareem. Kareem, I think you should phone Scottie tonight and talk about why the stream shouldn't stop. Catherine Raven, bless you. We're just saying, Kareem, that, we might have to make this the last one or, one tomorrow night max and then see how things go after that. I don't know what you think about that. It's an interesting one, isn't it? So that's that. Good, good. And I'm just going to carry on with this. This is a big share we've got on the go here. And I think we should all join in it. Is anybody on LinkedIn? If you're on LinkedIn, have a go about that as well. See what you think. No. I'm just looking for something here. Yeah, I'll do that. That'll do. And there we are. That can go in there. Okay. I think that's absolutely fine. Cool. This is busy. This is busy on here. This is not for the faint-hearted. Right, that's it. Off I jolly well go. There we go. Good. So a little bit of sharing there for you. Let everybody know. Wishing all the kids well tomorrow with the schools returning. Yes, school's back tomorrow, Tony. Absolutely. How's the beard, Scottie? Going very well, Glenn. What do you think? Should I take it off or should I leave it? Let's have your opinions on that, guys, because you have to look at it every night. Will Scottie take my call tonight, Catherine? That is the question. Kareem, I will always take your call, but I'd need to set it up. So what I'll do is I'll see if we've got any juice in the other device, and then we can have a bit of chat if that's what you're into. That would be just superb. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's going to be very worrying for some parents. I hope everyone will be safe. You stay safe, Kareem. McAvoy, hello, Scottie, Dinky-Doo, Dinky-Dee. How are you, McAvoy? We're always better for hearing from you from the county court in the Emerald Isle. Welcome, 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 I say. And a top of the evening to you as well now, McAvoy. That's you, sir. Absolutely, sir. Yes, bless you. It was Glenn who mentioned the green tea, Eddie, says the Archie. No, Glenn says he doesn't drink green tea. Scottie, will you take Kareem's call? It could be his last, so don't stop the stream, Scottie. Catherine, don't upset everybody. You know, it's only to see what's what. We've got plenty of juice in the device, Kareem, so I just need to set up the at Scottie.McClue, and then if that works okay, we are laughing. We're laughing. There we are. So I need to set up the Skype, and then we'll get Kareem on. Fantastic. Oh, wow. This is amazing. I'm just looking at some of the shares here, guys. We're talking huge, huge, huge sharing. Fantastic. We've been on for over half an hour. Seems like we've just started. Can I have another 10 likes? People have been very lax at liking, and I hope you're not lax at subscribing. Please subscribe. I shouldn't even have to ask. A live stream like Scottie McClue, the first thing I would do is subscribe, and then I would click like, you know, and we'd be laughing. We'd be laughing. There's absolutely nothing worth listening to than the stream and the music. TV's obsolete, Scottie. We need you. I agree, actually, Catherine. TV is obsolete, and Scottie McClue has paved the way ahead. This is the way ahead. There is no doubt about it. Apologies, Glenn. I was wrongly informed. Very kind of you, the Archie. Very elegant apology there. Why is the green tea subject coming up? Says Alistair Campbell. Absolutely, Alistair. A good question. We like it. A good question, well asked. That's what I would say. A good question, well asked. Right, I'm going to do a bit of sharing on here, guys, so you can all do the same. I need about another 10 likes, and then I'll let you go for a minute. But we do need subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, just click it. So there we are. Glenn, I thought it was the Archie61 who mentioned green tea and mint. Then someone said it was you last night, says Eddie Doyle. Right. Hello, says Gordon Robertson. Hello, Gordon Robertson. We all light up when Gordon Robertson comes on. Gentlemen of the First Order. And I want to know how Oliver and Toya are as well. And you, are your windows mocket, or have you still had time to clean them? There we are. Do let us know. Ask Eddie Doyle. Alistair says the Archie. Dinky-Doo Scottie says Sean Fitzharris. You're looking well. The beard suits you. We're just discussing it, Sean. Do you think I should keep the beard? You know, just going to do a wee bit of sharing here. Wee bit of sharing. Let everybody know what is what. Wonderful. Right. And we'll see. Yeah, I'll pop it into that, I think. I think this is always good. So there we are. And what I'll do here. Okay. And I post this, don't I? Yes. Wonderful. Right. So that's gone. So done a little bit of sharing there, guys. So who knows what will happen, as they say. What are your thoughts? So I'll just comment there. I think that's excellent. And just post that there for everybody. And that lets people know what is what. There we go. Wonderful. Right. We can't lose you, Scottie. People need to meet and talk more. It gets boring hearing the same old songs back to back all the time. Absolutely. Where radio really wins. Let's look at a really, really good radio station. Let's look at Scott FM was a classic example. It was 50% speech, 50% music, news, sport, everything on the hour. Scottish, owned by Scots, run by Scots, for the people of Scotland. So you can't really get better than that. Perfection. Audiences up to 200,000, 250,000, everybody listening to Scottie McClue every night. And during the day, the audience even doubled. You know, so that sort of thing. Anthony says, oh, yes, anyone who asks me if I mentioned green tea and mint, give them a yellow card. No, they were just checking, Glenn. We don't know who mentioned the green tea and mint. Let's get Sherlock Holmes on the case. You know, find out what's what. Any more likes, please? That would be just beautiful. And let's have a share because we need to get this up. This is so important. There we are. Right, I've done that. And tonight, let's see if we can get through the old glass ceiling tonight. You can press share and choose the messages and text, the links to your friends, contacts in your phone. Just another way to share. It's got a few of my friends watching regularly now. Excellent, Catherine. I thank you. Robert Scrimger. Mr. McClue, I thought you were retiring for a wee bit. Great to see you. Robert Scrimger, always great to see you. I can tell you that. Love when it comes up, and all you beautiful people. Scotty, I'll give you a call. Juice it up. I shall juice it up, Kareem, and we'll see what's what. There we are. Let's get this juiced up, big style. There we go. It'll need to be signed in, of course. I don't understand why I have to keep signing in. There must be something I haven't pressed, because it should just go straight to it. But it likes me to sign in, so if that's it, when in Rome, you know what McClue says, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And it would have been because the Romans brooked no opposition. And, that's why poor old Jesus was put to death, because Judea was a very difficult province to govern. You know, the people were quite sort of feisty and all that sort of stuff. And Pontius Pilate had drawn the straw for that one. So there you go. And they say he was a Scot from Fortingall in Perthshire. Has anybody else heard that? And they used to call, I think it was the Royal Scots, the Edinburgh Regiment, Pontius Pilate's bodyguard, because they were started in the 1600s. 1641, the Royal Scots. Somebody will know all about it and can fill me in on the detail. Right, let me just get this ready to see if we can get live. Maybe get Kareem on. Oh my goodness. Right, here we go. Never a dull moment. You can't say McClue doesn't look after you or even spoil you to the point of ruination. Wonderful. Right. Scotty, I'll give you a call. Good, Kareem. Yes, absolutely. It's just firing up now, so it should be live anytime you like. You suit the werewolf look, Scotty, just a little levelling off. Yes, the Archibald. I don't like to start it. Oh, here we are. Hello, you're live on Scotty's Phone In.
Hello, Scotty, how are we?
We're better for hearing you, Kareem. This is absolutely wonderful.
Hello. Sorry I was late tonight. I was just making my way home from my parents' house.
Ah, wonderful. Have you had a good day? Were you back today for the first day, or is it tomorrow?
It was my second day today, actually.
Right.
It's going to be a staggered week.
Right.
So we've senior 5th and 6th coming in for induction tomorrow morning.
So it was, sorry to interrupt, but was it just teachers yesterday and today then?
Yes, in service days.
In service days, yes, absolutely.
So,
and inset days, is that right? And
yes.
Then you've got the young people coming back tomorrow.
Not all of them. For the rest of the week, it will be just half. It'll be a year group, half a day.
Right. I understand. So they're coming in. So the other people that aren't coming in, they're staying at home, obviously, then.
Yes. They know when to come in. So, and then it'll be all go next week.
And then are they still going to stagger it next week, or is it everybody back?
No, it'll be everybody back. So that'll be quite challenging. Yeah.
Oh my goodness me, it'll be challenging. And will they all be wearing masks?
Well, yet again, it's the children don't need to wear masks. The children do not need to social distance at all.
At all?
Staff at all. They don't need to.
So the children can shake hands and dance with each other and all that?
They're encouraged not to, but they can be sitting in a class beside each other, a 33, group of 33.
Right.
Maximum.
So just together. No distance between, back to the old school desks?
Yes.
Oh
we have to stay 2 meters away and 2 meters away from other members of staff.
Right.
But the rule for the moment is the kids can do hang about wherever they want, basically.
Right. And if a young person brings you their homework and that, you have to say to them, step back, please.
Yes, basically leave it there, I'll come and get it. Yeah. But you have to think of other things as well. If you give out, and I know particularly in my school, they don't bring pens or pencils.
Right.
So you need to give pens and pencils out. You can't accept them back because they need to quarantine it for 72 hours.
Oh my goodness. So you're not going to need like 100 tons of pencils then?
We're going to have to think how we do things, change things about, yes. There has to be a lot of changes.
So you can't just say who's not got a pencil and half a dozen hands go up and you get a wee box of pencils and go, there you go, pass these along.
Yeah, Glasgow, well, I shouldn't say Glasgow, but there's an initiative in with the city that all secondary kids will get an iPad.
All right.
So I suppose in that sense they could use that if they bring it. That's another story we won't go into.
No, we're not going to too much, but it's just very interesting for the nation to hear firsthand what kind of experience it actually is, you know. And that's
But I would say there's a lot of teachers that are nervous, and I think management are doing the best they can.
Yes.
And the councils are doing the best they can, but there's always going to be a lot of challenges put into place, and we need another spike coming. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. The evidence is there, Scottie. If you look at the last 2 weeks, it's now 40 or 50 people a day now. So it's starting to creep back up.
Yes.
Think about when all the kids are back as carriers.
Yes.
It's going right home to parents, relatives. It will shut up again, and we know that.
Yes, and we still don't know enough about the virus itself. If it's airborne, it only takes somebody to sneeze, and people do sneeze. You know, I mean, some mornings I get a fit of the sneezes and half a dozen really good wachus. And I can remember, gee. And I remember a friend of mine saying, that's your heart resetting itself. And I said, really? And he said, yes.
Well, we are quite worried because as teachers, we were having meetings like in groups, big groups, but socially distant. And a few teachers were coughing, and you know, with the best will in the world, you're thinking, is that a COVID cough or is that just a natural dry cough?
Well, you just don't know.
Use your voice a lot. And I don't know.
Yes, you do. And also, am I not right in thinking that teachers pick up infections like cold and flu and that from the young people anyway? So maybe 2 or 3 times a year you think, oh, got a bit of a chest here. It was one of the young people gave it to me, you know.
Yeah, I'm the worst for that because the amount of germs that are in a school is, you'll know yourself, it's unbelievable. And with the best will in the world, there's always still going to be some form of germs there. They are doing deep cleans, but how often, that's another question, because everything has to be sanitized all the time.
Yes.
If you run out or if you don't have any, you know, there will be problems. And watch this space. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, you could have 1,000 people touching the same banister every hour.
If you twice, yes, when I'm going and leaving to go to the next, yeah.
If you've got a big school and they're going to the class and then about an hour or whatever it is later, they're back up and down the corridors touching the banister again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. And the whole mask thing, it seems like there's been pressure because this all was a bit of a turnaround.
Yes.
What about the turnaround in the exams? I thought they handled that very well, actually.
Well, I think they've put their hands up and admitted they've made a mistake, and that's good, and they've changed it, and that's been a week later.
And let's be honest, Kareem, we don't get that from all governments, do we?
No, I was going to say the rest of the UK, the other three countries, are in the exact same mess as what Scotland's in, but nothing's been done. And I think you've seen Boris has said that there'll be no changing, there's going to be no appeals. Right. Now, I was saying this earlier on as well. One thing that I know a lot of people don't like the Conservative Party up in Scotland. They don't cave in to pressure. I think that's one thing the SNP do. They do, you put a bit of pressure on them, they do crumble a little bit. So that's the only thing I can say, which is...
Well, I think they want to maintain their transparency. So it's a balance, you know?
Yeah. So, but... As I said, I think he's made the right call, and I think for a lot of young people that were really upset, they'll get the predicted grade, and that's the end of that. But it'll be interesting to see if down south will buckle, because you need to remember as well, back with COVID, we are the only country out of all four that are kind of like the guinea pigs, because no one else is back at school yet for another 2 or 3 weeks, because they're still on summer holidays. And so by that time, you'll see what's happened to Scotland.
Yes, and Scotland has had a very good record up till now, and the Scottish government has handled the situation incredibly beyond reproach, really.
Yes, I believe that.
Regardless of anybody's politics, you know, I mean, as you know, I'm not a political animal, but it's very interesting.
Yes, I find Nicola Sturgeon has done a fantastic job every single day informing the Scotland, and there's jokes as well, like people from the north of England, they don't watch Boris anymore, they watch Nicola Sturgeon to get news.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, because I mean they would want their country run like that. I mean, I've worked, as you know, right down to London, but I've worked extensively in the Midlands, in the Northeast, in the Northwest, in Yorkshire and Lancashire, and they're very pro-Scots. There's a lot of banter and what have you. They've been fed a lot of nonsense that they were subsidising Scotland, and that caused quite a bit of bad feeling. And of course, the antithesis is true, and I just say to them, don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Absolutely. I know, I totally agree. Yeah.
No, from that point of view, it's very interesting. And there are a lot of moves afoot now. Boris is apparently setting up a sort of bigger branch, a hub of the Scottish office, you know? And we're hearing the term Secretary of State for Scotland for the first time. That job had become, as far as I know, Scottish Secretary. So, you know, these things are changing. And you had, of course, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you had St Andrew's House, which is still there, of course, for the civil service, the Scottish office in Edinburgh. And you had a big branch of it at the St James's Centre in Edinburgh, just at the top of Leith Walk. And then you had another big branch in Glasgow for economic development. So it's all that sort of stuff, and they kind of backed off once the Scottish government found its feet, you know, but there's moves afoot to build that up again. So they must be feeling pressure.
Well, they don't want to lose Scotland because, as I've always said, we are their cash cow.
Yes.
They really want to lose us.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, another thing might be to say to Westminster, look, if you really don't want to lose us, we'll stay, but we keep our own money, just to see what the reaction was to that.
It won't be a very good reaction.
Just see how that goes down. Test the water.
Scottie, it was just put out today about Russia have found a vaccine for the corona, and it's now, I think Putin said his daughter has took the vaccination. So I think that's really encouraging, but I don't know what will happen if that's going to be put out around the world. Dr. Beebe, as you know, because I've seen your posts about down south, like is it Oxford, the university, and that they've nearly developed a vaccine.
Well, there's always a race, and everybody wants to get it first because it's also power related and financially related. If your company finds the vaccine, then you call the shots. Eventually the government would put pressure and say, no, we're not paying through the nose, but they'd be very keen to make sure you got what would be called a fair price,
Yes, yeah. That's the thing as well. And anyone else who's listening or just now about, if you think about, we were talking about the flu jag. Now, the flu, as you know, it mutates every year.
Yes.
And you have to have a different strength or dosage or type of flu jag. But is that going to be the same with the corona vaccine, that they're going to have to get one yearly to change because that's mutating as well?
We don't know, because we don't know even the scientists, the doctors, everybody, and there has to be more honesty about this. They really don't know exactly what they're dealing with. They don't really know about the full mutation, incubation periods. I've got a bit of variety in them, so that sort of idea. The asymptomatic concept is very worrying because people could have it and you don't know. You could pass it on and you don't know. Somebody could get infected and they don't know. So there's that kind of thing. And we know that for people with underlying conditions, it can be a killer. And that's your problem. And when we were saying earlier, there must be a lot of older teachers. There must be teachers who have asthma, who have all sorts of different things, from that point of view. And I do know, I know of teachers who have died of COVID. Tragic. Yeah. Lovely, lovely people. Yeah. Because a teacher is, in general, underestimated in public. Do you know what I mean? Because they're public servants and they don't want to be paying too much money for teachers. They had to struggle to get a rise. And people say, it's a good rise. You said, no, they've been underpaid for years. A teacher, as you know, very clever, and we never want to lose a teacher's judgment. That's society's brightest asset. That's the jewel in the crown, It's not all about evidence files and things like that. It's about a teacher's judgment. And I'm very glad that the government have made that decision, because what the teachers have decided will be right, Yeah.
We actually, within our department, all our estimates within 4th, 5th and 6th year were accepted, bar one person. They went down one grade. So for us, anyway, within our department, we were 100% right. You were bang on.
You were bang on the mark. You were bang on the money, as they say. Congratulations, Kareem. An absolute privilege talking to you. It always is. I'm not sure if this will be our last stream for a while, or if we'll manage to squeeze one in tomorrow.
What do you do at least one minimum a week, because you've got a community, you've got a following, and it's just nice for everybody to come together and have a wee chit chat. If you're not on for a long time, you're going to lose people for what you've worked so hard throughout lockdown. Every single day, the sharing and taking your time, it's just keep it going. That's all. It's my tiny little contribution to lockdown was, I thought, get up there, McClue, and have a chat with the people, for goodness sake, get off your backside, fire up your YouTube and let's talk. And of course, as you know, it started as a wee bit of fun with a handful of us, and it has just grown and grown and grown, and it's wonderful. And your good sir
yourself. Thank you for all your support, for your generosity, for your consideration. You know, and I think that overall, I mean, this is only a blip. I think overall, the stream will survive. You know, it really will. It will endure. You know,
we were asked to think of something positive. To ask the kids to think of something positive about what the lockdown and coronavirus. And if I was to think, definitely coming on the show in the morning and at night time, that was one thing that got me through the 4 months, and obviously walking my dogs. But a few positives, but definitely Scottie McClue was one of those positive things throughout lockdown.
Bless you, Kareem. That is fantastic. That's great to know, because you know, so many people could just say, well, I never knew anything about it and what have you, you know what I mean? And I think the fact that they are still up on the YouTube channel now that everybody can see the videos, you know, a lot of folk do listen after the show and things. They maybe watched a bit of football and then they come back and they listen after the show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And thank you for all your sharing, because that's made a huge difference, you know?
Not at all. And Scottie, listen, I hope you're back, and I'll say Dinky-Doo, and thank you very much for taking my call.
Not at all. Bless you, Kareem. All the very best. Stay safe. Top man.
Bye.
Bless you, my friend. Bye-bye. Right, there we are. That's our Kareem. What an absolute top man, and great chat. Very, very interesting, and also lovely to have it firsthand. Now, you'll have a lot of comments here. Let's just see what's going on here. Bye. Hello, you're live on Scottie's stream. Who's that?
Evening, Scottie. How you doing?
Hey, Glenn. How are you, Lala? Lovely to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Yeah, I'm good. You?
Now, yeah, I'm great, Glenn. I'm all the better for hearing you. I have to say, this is wonderful.
I've had one or two mongers on recently, and
oh yes, these people are, but you need to ignore these people, Glenn. Thomas certainly was just trying to wind you up. There's no doubt about that. Thomas is a very strange one on this stream, you know. He doesn't quite fit the...
Would you say Vindictive's a bit...
Vindictive, no, I don't know about Vindictive, but he definitely has got a different take, and I didn't want him to spoil the harmony of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's been very, very harmonious, but you must have touched a nerve, you see. And
it worked both ways, didn't it?
Well, it does. He must have touched a nerve with you, but I take it there's no bad feeling. It's just been a bit of a...
No, it's just, I'll call it harmless banter if you want to look at it.
Bits of harmless banter, Glenn, top man. But I'll tell you, it's been very joyful having you on.
It's been a blast.
To you. A real blast.
Yeah, nice one.
And, you know, we'll do more. So I would leave your notifications. Make sure that bell is tapped.
There's no schedule. There's no time limit or schedule or anything, is there?
Absolutely not. No. And we'll get the best times. I mean, the popping up at 3:30 in the morning. We were a small band, but that went down very, very well. And the popping back up at 11.
Are you doing another one?
Well, we popped up at 11 on Saturday. Well, I'll just need to see what happens with the day job, because I probably would be halfway through my sleep pattern, you see. Even McClue has to sleep sometimes.
Get a duplicate McClue, Scottie, innit?
Is what?
Get a duplicate of Scottie, get another one.
Yes, another. Well, I was wondering about artificial intelligence. Get one that just comes up and talks to you.
And what's the word? An hologram, yeah.
Yeah, hologram, that's the one. Brilliant, fantastic. Did you ever see the hologram of Les Dawson?
I did, yes, Scottie.
Was that not outstanding? It was heartbreaking, because when I went to Lancashire, I thought I might get to meet Les Dawson, because he was one of my idols, and he died that week.
He was a legend, wasn't he?
He was an absolute legend, and he was quite a young man. I doubt he'd be barely... I don't know if he even made 60 kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Did he not?
I don't think... Around that. I can't remember what age Les was.
The legends have gone, haven't they?
And apparently, the night before, he was having a drink with some friends, and he said, "Right, we'll have one more. You've got to have some pleasure in life." And that the next day he died. I think he took a heart attack at the hospital, and he had a lovely young wife and daughter.
Nobody knows what's round the corner, do they?
Yeah, never know what's round the corner, Glenn. You know. I mean, I had a dear friend in radio. I told you about it, this time last year, just barely 60. And that was it, and he wanted for nothing. And he had his family all around him and had a great life. And then bang, gone. You know what I mean?
Stinks, doesn't it?
Well, you don't know, you see. And that's why I was saying to you the other night, we need to watch in case Anno Domini catches up with old McClue.
Scotty, you've got plenty of years left on top.
And the game's up. But I think we need to do more of the social media, and we definitely need to explore the streams a bit more, Glenn, because I know in my heart, if everybody knew this was on, we would be having a massive audience right now.
Not enough subscribing, is there?
There's not enough subscribing at the moment, so I need to work on that.
The best thing about it, though, I keep on repeating it, the phonings by a mile.
Yeah.
The old classics, Mr. Martin and all that.
Oh, they love all that, Mr. Martin.
And Susie Posey.
Susie Posey, she's just amazing, isn't she? Right. You be civil.
You were just in hysterics, just listening to it.
Well, I was in hysterics. I thought she was brilliant, and I loved the one.
Are you a pro?
Are you a pro? What kind of pro? So a professional one. And I just made that up on the spot. I thought she's trying to trap us here. And what else was funny was when she goes, "You put that phone down. You've had it." All right, I've had it.
I've had it. The sandwiches. I just
for the tape.
And Mr. Martin, bless him.
Mr. Martin, bless him. Yeah, absolutely. You Scots, you cowards, you are.
You haven't got too long left for this world, you said to him, and he's like,
his chest. Oh my goodness me! I thought, don't. I thought he was going to croak on us. You know what I mean?
You had that influence on him. That you had that impression on him, do you? Kind of thing. You were like, feeling too much emotion and stuff. It's like, calm down, mate.
Calm down. He was too angry. He was so angry.
Yeah.
Well, you have no right, you.
I'm gonna get you thrown off the air.
I'll speak to your boss. They're always doing that. I remember telling them one time, they were going, "What is your boss thinking?" And I said, "He doesn't give two love. He's in Tenerife."
If they didn't want to listen to you, they won't phone you, would they?
Well, absolutely. I mean, for a start, they phoned you, and the other thing is they're listening.
Exactly.
You could actually say to them, "Listen, if you really don't like it, just stick it off."
Put them out on.
Yeah, just give us all a break. Off you go.
Yeah, they love the band. They love it deep down, don't they? They love the banter, really.
Certainly, they loved it in Scotland. They loved it in Yorkshire. They loved it in the northeast, the northwest. Human beings love a bit of banter. There's too much serious stuff. And as I say, Glenn, these talk radio stations that start, and before you know where they are, they go, "Tomorrow we're interviewing the Prime Minister in a minute." People say, "We get enough of that, thanks. We want to hear the people." Stick the people on.
We get too much on it.
We get enough of all this stuff. And particularly what's been wonderful about this stream is that we've hardly discussed coronavirus. We touch on it. Yeah. We've hardly discussed politics. We've hardly discussed football.
In little bits and bobs, Scotty, aren't we?
Yeah, little bits and bobs, little bits of nonsense.
We keep it to a minimum, don't we?
We keep it down to minimum. But I know you're a football fan and you're champing at them.
I am, yeah.
You'd like to get talking about Wednesday and United and all that.
You know all that, Scotty, don't you?
Yeah, all that stuff. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, of course, I'll tell you something. See Hallam FM. I have never heard, even in Scotland, commentaries like Hallam FM used to do. Fantastic. And I remember one time I was standing, I'd gone in to get ready for my show, and I was standing in reception at Radio Hallam, right? I'd gone up the steps, I'm standing in there, on the speakers, played throughout the building, was Hallam FM's commentary on the football.
They don't do it now, Scott,
I could then hear the crowds cheering and the commentators going, the crowds are going wild tonight at Hillsborough, and I could hear them all cheering across the road.
That's good. We're having a bit of a bad time recently, football-wise, Scotty, anyway.
Yes, absolutely. Well, of course. And also with this COVID thing, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's a business, isn't it, these days?
It is a bit of a business, and people used to be the team. I think when we say it's a business, the problem you've got is that the costs are so high, they're paying so much for players. You see, it used to be, Glenn, that to get a game for your local team, you weren't on big money. You might be on a bit enhanced from your local lads, you know, but you weren't on big money. Now they're going, well, we could maybe sell you them for £5 million, you know.
There's few and far local lads in teams now, though. It's all multicultural and overseas players now, isn't it?
All over the world, yeah. Well, it's a market for players, you know, see how they play. Fantastic.
They don't think about fans, really, do they?
No, well, they do and they don't. I mean, the fans are the bread and butter. Do you know what I mean? But the fans used to sort of run the show. I can always remember a club owner getting so much abuse. He said, I'm fed up with this. He said, I think I'll just sell this club.
It's got worse since social media's come out, you know, with footballers and stuff.
Oh, I bet there's some pretty dark stuff on there.
They get some right abuse online, don't they?
Yeah, well, they get it at the matches. I mean, I know I've only been to a few matches, but how many managers are sitting in that ground? You know, and they all get up, and they jump up. There's always one in front, you know. I always remember a friend telling me this big lad got up in front of him, and the guy from behind him goes, "Sit down, Mr. Blobby," and he turns round and he says, "Shut up."
We had one. We sitting here in stands, and your opinion don't count for anything. It's just this. Otherwise, he gets really, really angry.
Well, this guy was standing up shouting. He's going, "We've told him to get him off last week."
And they're arguing with their own. They're following the same team, but they're literally arguing with their own fans.
They're arguing with themselves, aren't they?
Because it's a difference of opinion, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they've got their own ideas.
But everybody's got their own opinions, and they don't need to be shut down, does it?
No, they sit down and they go, so and so is a brilliant player, and they go, no, headless chicken. You've been booing him all season. then it turns into a personal vendetta there. That's it, and then you don't speak to him. I'm not speaking to him. I'm leaving. Exactly. I'm leaving the pub. I'm going.
It was literally built like a brick. You know what, Scotty?
I'm leaving.
You know the old.
I'm leaving pub. I'm going. I'm not having this.
I don't think they'll let football fans in any time soon, Scotty. Though, do you?
No.
Even in England or Scotland.
No, it's going to be a long, long time. I think it's going to be on the. It's going to be on the telly. You're going to have what did you call that again? What was the one we were talking about? The one that Les Dawson did. What is it?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, you said at the start. You're brilliant. You got the word right away. It's and something gram. A hologram. No.
Hologram, Scotty. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hologram. The hologram. Yeah. Well, that's it. Well, you're going to have hologrammed crowds there giving it.
You've heard about the cardboard cutouts, haven't you?
Have they tried that? Are they going to try that?
They've done that, yeah. £25 a shot. £25 a shot, though, Scotty. And
what's going on? What's going off? What's going on? Exactly. And what's going off?
Don't get me wrong.
What's to do?
What they like, Scotty? Yeah. What they like?
In Yorkshire, they go, "What's world commentary?" Can't believe world's come to this.
It's come to this, has it?
So it's come to this, has it? So this is it, isn't it?
I'm wider than they.
Oh, ToThe. I didn't think I'd ever live to see the day.
Well, you did. Got eyes in the back of my head.
You need eyes in the back of your head? I'll tell you what you need for that, a proper Spear and Jackson number 4.
I'd watch him if I were you.
Yeah, I'd keep an eye out on him, actually. He's not quite the clean tatty. He's not the clean tater. Yeah. You watch. You mark my words, lad.
Bloody hell, Sky, yeah.
I'll tell you, you might think I'm daft, but I'm not. You know, right, we'll take your word for it then.
Oh, these sayings, Sky, they're brilliant.
I love all that. Well, what I used to say to them on the Nightline, as you'll well remember, they'd say, look, I'm not stupid, you know. I'd say, well, all the evidence counts against that. So, what do you mean by that?
Just let me write it down. Sandwich shots what? Soapbox.
I'll tell you what the Sheffielders were great getting them going was to tell them that I'd come down from Scotland to educate them. I can't believe I'm sitting giving thee all my time. I've come all the way down to educate thee, and I'm listening to this nonsense.
And you were like, what?
I should get a life.
Especially the ones from Barnsley.
Oh, they were great. They were wonderful people. Barnsley. Is that him?
That McClue.
That McClue. I told you they wouldn't serve us at the trip van. No, you're getting out. Go on, clear off. That was brilliant.
They were big fans, though, weren't they?
Oh, great fun. I mean, I used to go out. I remember going out round and about in Barnsley for charity and stuff, and they were great.
Yeah.
You know, and I can remember the night. A local lad with a big Rolls Royce, and everybody had a right few drinks, and they were all walking up the road, and he went toot toot, and I thought, oh dear, what's coming now? And they all stood aside and applauded him. Hey, good man! Love the motor, cool car, mate. So there it goes, all that nonsense. So there you go. Right, I'll need to push off because
it's been a blast, Scott.
Always a blast, Glenn. But we'll keep in touch.
Everything you've done anyway.
No, and I appreciate what you've done as well. And you've always been there, and your support, marvellous man. And tell your mum, happy birthday, big style.
I will do, Scott.
Fantastic.
And keep good work up anyway.
Hey, and you take care of and I'll see thee.
Take care, big man.
I'll see the top man.
La-la.
Ta-da, la-la. Ta-da. Stick your tongue out and say ta-da, la. There we are. That's how Glenn. Marvellous stuff, though. I mean, it really is. So there we go. A few live calls there. Right, what have we got here? Oh, thanks very much for that. Anyone who asked me, a lot of reaction from you guys. Here we go. Right. The subject of tea came up the other night. It was me who mentioned green tea and serious weight loss. Alistair Campbell, we've finally got to the bottom of it. That's the stuff. Sorry, I'm talking Yorkshire like. I've just been talking to Glenn like, you know. There's Roger. Hi. Red Bush tea's brilliant. It helps you get to sleep if you're like me and find it hard to sleep at night. Now, Tony, why do you find it hard to sleep at night? We need to get you calmed so you go off like a baby. Yes, we can hear some chat on the Skype tonight, Scotty. Craig Cochran says, I poured my cat out some milk the other day. I don't know how it got in there. My missus made a cup of tea in a nightie this morning, so I'm going to get her a teapot. There we go. Is that so, Anthony? My sleeping pattern is the brown stuff. It's the way I heard. There's nothing quite so diverse and fun out there, says Catherine. Robert Scrimger, Earl Grey, peppermint, Earl Grey, ex-Prime Minister only really remembered for his tea. Earl Grey, was he not a Newcastle man? Because I'm sure there's a statue of Earl Grey in Newcastle in Grey Street. Am I correct? Am I correct? Is the just set up in the Skype? It is, Glenn. We've done that. Here we are. Evening, Scott. Evening, Tam. Windows are fine on the outside. You can maybe do with a wee clean on the inside. But the light is still getting in. The beard will be handy for work at Christmas. Should be a great Santa Claus. Yes, I might keep it, Tony, and see if we get a little bit of work at Christmas. Things are always tight round about Christmas time, aren't they? So yes, Scotty, get the Skype and your McClue warriors want to phone you. Catherine Raven, we have definitely keep it, Scotty. Keep the beard, thank you. Hi, the Archie says Tam. There's Thomas, I'm away. William Wallace, what do you mean you're away? Hello, Thomas, hope you're well. You do suit the beard, but I prefer clean-shaven McClue. I thank you, Susan, in Lancashire. Bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's getting quite bushy here, actually. You know? Does it make me look a lot older, though? Somebody said, no, it doesn't age you. Well, that was interesting. Figures are great tonight for midweek. Doing very, very well, Catherine. Absolutely. In fact, I'll do more sharing. Can we all share, please, guys? I think there's never enough sharing, and we're doing very, very well there. Gordon Robertson, been busy today with the platinum carpet cleaner. I'm taking the steam cleaner to the kitchen floor tomorrow, whether he likes it or not. He's going into the playpen so I can get the hoose done. Yes, Gordon, I don't know if there's anything that takes the sort of smell out of the number 1. That's the only thing. Any more likes going, guys? I could do with another 10 likes. So look for the like and give us a thumbs up. I'm trying to find an antique dealer that will value my original Bowie throwing knife. Now, who's the Bowie knife called after? Is it somebody around the same time as Davy Crockett? Is it that sort of idea? Around the same time as Davy Crockett? Do tell. Right, guys, I'm going to share this to... I'll share it to that page, actually. Fantastic. And if you can all do the same, can never too much sharing. An antique dealer, Davy. Thought you were going to say Bowie Records. I'd have been right on to that. David Bowie, the man who fell to earth. Well, hello, Mary Lou. Susan Forrest, I'm clean shaven in my commando gear, says the Archie. I think that's a sort of euphemism. But I need one that specializes in knives. Knives. Seen one for sale, £2,000. Wow. What's the background to a Bowie knife, though? Is it part of the Special Forces gear? Or, I mean, what's the actual background to it? I think we should be told. We demand to know. Who understands the background to the Bowie knife? Pilate was stationed in Scotland, says Alistair Campbell. Pontius Pilate. So he was the Roman governor, but was he from... I mean, Fortingall in Perthshire's pretty old. I know that, and there's an old yew tree there. Can I call you after, Kareem, says Glenn. No, Glenn, let others have a go. You're always on. Can I call you after Kareem? Oh, sorry, I've got it. Sounded like, can I call you after Kareem? Can I call you, meaning McClue, after Kareem? He's done it. Yes, we're all done. We must be late here. William, is this your show, says Glenn. In-service day today in the West End. Little Vandals back tomorrow, says Paul. William Wallace, you can't take our freedom. You can't take our freedom, not our Skype. See that Jimmy Cranky is talking about stopping all Scottish football. I'm sorry, Davy Young, but I don't respond to that sort of reference. So there you are. It's the First Minister of Scotland, and a very distinguished lady too. Glenn, it's our show, thanks, says William Wallace. I adore David Bowie, says Catherine. I was watching a band called Fell to Earth play at the Roadhouse online. It's a great concert. He really does David Bowie justice. I'm on Facebook. I can send you a link if you want. So what was I at last night, Catherine? It sounded like a social media rave. Fantastic. Right, I'm going to do a bit more sharing, guys. I don't know about you. We need to get these figures up big style. I was thinking if coronavirus was about when we were at school, we'd miss out on 6 of the best. Yes, you wouldn't be able to get belted. It would need to be sterilized. You couldn't do it on people's hands at all. Good. I think education is so much better since they did ban the belt. That was a dreadful, inhumane setup. Wee ones getting the belt, for goodness sake. They're getting the odd sum wrong. You know, so what? Mind you, I can remember a guy who said he was smacked off the board. He's got grabbed by the hair and smacked off the board until he got a formula right in physics. He said, I've never forgotten the formula, mind you. I'll look it up, Catherine. I'm all in favour of the Waynes getting iPads to assist with their studies. I just hope they don't get sold in the pubs, says Gordon Robertson. Oh, absolutely. The pic of you on Facebook, Catherine, you are unique, but they are imposters. So there we are. There'll be a lot of the normal sicknesses the children share as well. It's just a bit of a worry. So we all know how fast the head lice spread in schools. Yes, do you remember the nitty nurse, Catherine? And the wee combs that they had, the tooth comb to check you didn't have nits. And they cropped your hair if you did. I never had, thank goodness. Black and white one is up the now. Says Catherine. Oh, she's talking about photos, sorry. Why are they not moving the teachers around between classes and keep the students in the same class? Works in Scandinavia. Polly Koss. Very interesting concept there. Leave the children in the same class all the time, like primary school, and move the teacher. Wow. What do we think of that one, Kareem, if you're listening? That sounds pretty impressive, I would say. Right, guys, we're going to tweet tonight. What do we put in the tweet? Fantastic idea, Paul. Kids are overprotected now. Their immune system's not as good as when we were kids. We ate coal and mud. Davy Young, I can only assume that you've had a more interesting upbringing than a lot of the rest of us. Anybody else eat coal and mud? Was this a staple diet? Don't try that at home now, folks. This is for entertainment purposes only. I have to do that. I have to issue a caveat there, a wee warning. Entertainment purposes in case somebody goes, oh, I didn't realise you could eat coal. Do not. Old King Cole was a merry old soul. There we are. Wonderful. Right. I want to know what to put in the tweet. Kareem could suggest this to his school. He could, yes. Soap's a great disinfectant. The wonderful Welly song has joined us. Soap is a great disinfectant, can even teach kids how to make it. Wonderful Welly song. You should look at doing that. Natural soaps from, olive oil or something like that? I don't know. I don't know enough about soap making. Do you know that there was Lord Leverhulme of Lever Brothers Sunlight Soap, is that right? Liverpool. And as an older man, Lord Leverhulme invested very heavily in Lewis and Harris, Stornoway. And they called him the old soap man. Isn't that beautiful? Lord Leverhulme. It came to nothing because like money just disappears like snow off a dike and in Highland regions and everywhere else, of course, as well. Catherine Raven, yes, I mean they can do maths and English in one classroom, modern studies. No need to shuffle hundreds of students around every hour. Dear Young, don't forget the chewing gum stuck to the pavement. Teach the kids to make soap. Brilliant. Tell us more about this Welly song. Scottie, a banister is a slender post used to support the handrail of a staircase. Brackets. Whilst you appeared to get this wrong talking to Kareem, I suggest you already knew what I'm pointing out. Are they not the Newell posts, Gordon? If you want to be pedantic, which clearly you do. So there we are. So that's the banister, and then there's the handrail along the top of the banister. So if you're sliding down the banister, are you not sliding down the handrail, really? Do tell more, Gordon Robertson. Thank goodness for a grammarian. You know, we like a bit of the pedant. Wonderful. Very much appreciated. Now, what else have we got here? Gordon Robertson, our resident grammarian, has informed me that when you put your hands on the rail, that's not the banister. The banister is the up and down stanchions. Welly Song is intellect. Oh, Welly Song is pure intellect. She is knowledge. Welly Song and knowledge go together like a bowl of porridge. I'm trying to think the old song, Horse and Carriage. Where love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. So Welly Song and knowledge go together like a bowl of porridge. I'll do some more work on that. I think spot on, Paul. Be better if the teachers moved around school. People stay in one class. Absolutely. Make the kids eat soap. So when they cough, it's a clean cough. Davy Young. Do not try any of that at home now, folks. Do not pass go. Do not collect £200. Do not worry yourself. That was for entertainment purposes only, although it wasn't all that entertaining. That's a whole new meaning to go and wash your mouth out with soap and water. Well, there's a few potty mouths in the social media, Catherine. You'll have seen one or two of them. Right, what's happening tonight, folks? I need to stream. I need to tweet on the stream is what I'm trying to say. Oh, I know it sounds very, very funny. Try it yourselves, do a bit of streaming, and you'll see that you have to send treat. What's the 6 eggs? 6 eggs are the Xbox 6. I still have my marks on my arm from the 6 eggs and my TB jag I got at school. Yeah, so tell us about the 6 eggs, Davy Young. Gordon's interested. Gordon, thank you for pointing that out. I stand corrected. Like little marks, little egg shapes. People got them in the arm with the TB jab years ago. You're right. I was at the BCG. You got a wee ring of them, did you not? I was at the BCG. The BCG, Davy Young. Yes, the BCG. What was BCG? What did it stand for? Because MMR was mumps, and rubella. Rubella was the R. Mumps. What's the middle one? MMR. It was called a skin test before TB jab. Yes, a wee skin test. Alistair Campbell, good man. To be honest, I can't remember. Mumps and rubella. Measles. Of course, what am I like? Silly old fool. Measles, mumps and rubella. Is that right? MMR. Yes, Alistair, formed a bubble. I agree with Kareem. The stream has been a great help during the lockdown. I've really enjoyed it. Gordon Robertson, bless you. We've thoroughly enjoyed having you on. And, we stand erected when you come out with your wisdom. I thought I was being offered unlimited sex by my mobile phone company. Turns out the lady was offering me unlimited texts. I was about to say I'm happily married. Whew, that was a close one. I always remember an announcer talking about tennis, and he said that somebody had been beaten in straight sex. It just came out. The morning shows are a top way to begin with the day, pottering about, making your bacon and eggs and coffee. Scottie on the radio, Facebook radio. That's what it's like. This is the winner, Catherine. Trust me. If we can get everybody listening to me, I know I'm no oil painting. I'm fine with that. But if we can get everybody listening to me, so we run the YouTube videos and just walk away and get on with your day. Well done, Kareem. Great call, says Catherine. Catherine, request on its way. I think Thomas is good on here. He livens things up. Right, Gordon Robertson. Thomas is one of your biggest fans, Scottie, but he doesn't have to be so protective of the stream. He should just relax and enjoy it. Absolutely, Gordon. Has Thomas been banned? I don't see him on tonight. No, he's not been banned, Gordon. He may have sloped off to watch football. Or he might be working, the poor soul, because I think he works quite late. And remember, he was very hungover yesterday and he hadn't gone to his work, so he maybe had to catch up. Great hearing everyone on the Skype. Going to get a cuppa and sit back a while. No problem, Catherine. Thomas is here tonight, says the Archie. Yes, he was on earlier. Thanks, Catherine. Scottie, thank you for the call. Kareem, a privilege. Lovely to hear you. Did you hear that point, Kareem, about moving the teachers about, leaving the Waynes in the class? Brilliant call, Kareem, says Tony. If Thomas is here, he's been quiet. Scottie reprimanded or gagged him. Gordon Robertson, I would never take that upon me. I have had to reprimand him, but never gag him. We had to put him in time out because he was cheeking up, remember? So nice to hear your voice again, Kareem. Great talk you guys had. Excellent call, Kareem. You're good on the Skype, Kareem. Glenn too, says Gordon. I was listening to Susie too today. So funny. This is bugging me now. Why we got 6 eggs? Yes, did you have to eat the eggs or was it little eggs? Glenn's a champion, says Catherine. Yes, let me help you out, Davy Young. Some people have 6 eggs, some have 12. But hotels, take the biscuit. Any more likes going, guys? Who's given me £1? Somebody has tapped the dollar and given McClue £1. I thank you. I bet it's Kareem. Back shortly, need a cuppa. Of course, have a cuppa. In fact, I'll have a wee sip of the aqua. Guys, can we all have a share and see if we can get this up? So there we go. I'll just put live now, actually. Let's put that up there. Let everybody know what's what. There we are. Right, so fantastic. So I'll put that up there. I need to put a wee bit more in here. Yes, there we go. And you can all do the same, guys. It's wonderful. What else have we got? Right, I'm doing a tweet here, and I'm putting stuff in for... Put some stuff in for Glenn there, quite good. And you can all do the same as well. Yeah, put that up. So anybody else got some suggestions? What are we Tuesday night tonight? Any suggestions? Any suggestions? There we are. If you want to put something in the tweet, then you can do. William Wallace. Think Scottie enjoyed the dance scene last night. We're all stunned to see the Well Stop radio broadcast at one of Atomic's live streams with our Welly boy. How cool is our Scottie? I thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Good evening all, says Aaron. Aaron Shabir, welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you with us, Dinky-Doo. I'm a bit late to the party. Not at all, Aaron. There is no punishment or sanction for being late to watch Scottie McClue because you've already suffered enough by missing out. You say? Good evening, Aaron. Brilliant call. Scottie McClue, the voice of the nation. Dinky-Doo. Eddie Doyle, I bless you. Thank you. Great call, Glenn. Great call, Scottie legend. Lovely to hear you. Thanks, Glenn. Lovely to hear you from the Skype, Glenn. Looking forward to me and Mrs. Mack's 15th wedding anniversary tomorrow. I don't know how she's put up with me, because you're a top man. So there you are. She's a very lucky lady, and you're a very lucky man. There we are. Fair exchange is no robbery. Thanks, Catherine. She loves you. Have a wonderful day. Hope you have your romantic head on, Tony. Back, says Davy Young. My pleasure, Glenn. The new Sean Connery, Glenn. Good man. I am here, Gordon Robertson. How are you? I've been dipping in and out this evening, not been feeling good the past couple of days. Self-inflicted, of course. Yes, Thomas, you're about to give it up. Give up the booze, I say. Just chuck it. You don't need it. 1838, first one was made. What was that, Davy Young? What was made in 1838? Oh, the hunting knife, the Bowie. Ah, yes. Oh, Scottie. Had too much homemade wine tonight. My neighbour brews it. I think it's gooseberry wine. Did you ever see James Herriot the night he stayed and sampled some homemade wine? Scotty, the problem I have is once I shave, it goes back twice as thick. It doesn't want to leave me. Well, no, it doesn't, Glenn. Yes, grow a big beard. Scotty, can you see yourself in a film in the future? Or are you going back to full-time lecturing and teaching? It wouldn't be the same without our voice popping up. A wee part in a film would be very good for McClue, you know. I must do that. I remember getting told off by the wonderful David Heyman when I was interviewing him. He said, and you've sat on your backside since. He was sort of hinting, you get out there and get acting, McClue. Robert, is the wine green or red? I've got hundreds of gooseberries at the moment. They need picked as soon as ripe or else they turn to mush and the wasps get them. I had this problem in Manchester. I had 3 beautiful apple trees outside my window, and a lot of the apples went to waste because the wasps got, there was just so many. Sorry being late, was dog sitting. Ivor McClure, the dog comes first. That's one rule in McClue. Dogs come first. Guys, I need another 10 likes. Let's get on with this. It's Green Stewart, homemade, beautiful, but oh God, strong stuff. Yeah, you just want to sip it. I think respect went out the window when they got rid of the belt. They got rid of it in 1979. I went from a quiet child to a wild child. That's fine. We're allowed wild children. All those children should be seen and not heard. Bad news. Very bad news. No, I can't agree with you. The belt needed to go, shh. And late as well, says Professor Numpty. Numpty, don't you worry. We'll keep it between you and I. I shan't say anything. Don't you say anything either. And maybe nobody will notice you're here. It was a rave. You surprised a few people last night, you party animal, Scotty. Hope you're not leaving the stream to come clubbing. All right, Catherine. Very good. Interesting, Robert. Never heard of someone making wine from them. Stuart Clark, gooseberry wine. What other wines do we know about, guys? What fruits do we use? The fruits of your labours. How's the dog, Scotty? He's very good, Kareem. He was feeling the heat today, but he's on new medication. And in about, what are we? Yes, in about 6-7 weeks, he'll be 14, bless him. But he's so happy. He's such a joyful creature, a beautiful spirit, Kareem. Billy yourself. I think it's homemade gooseberry Chardonnay. Of course it is. I was thinking of science teacher carrying the science lab on her back to go into another class. Yes, good point, Davey. There we are. The kids who get bored and start chaos in high school. Plus, teachers can't leave kids on their own when jumping from class to class. Good point, Kareem. Excellent. 2 sides to every story. I come from a very close-knit family. You could have a handover period, mind you. You don't leave the class till the other teacher comes in, but then that's chicken and egg, isn't it? I come from a very close-knit family. We shared each other's knits. What do you think? Yes, interesting, Tony. Yes, absolutely. I shared the bed with 7 people with a year between us. We all used to wet the bed. I learned to swim before I could walk. That sort of thing. I cleaned my teeth with soot when we had no toothpaste. Ivor McClure, stop the nonsense. Thanks. So don't try that at home now, folks. That was for entertainment purposes only, although it wasn't particularly entertaining. Thanks, folks, for the kind words, says Kareem. Not at all, Kareem. Ali says, did you know there is something called barber? Did you know there's something called barber? Do you mean banter, Ali? Is that a predictive text? Do you remember charcoal biscuits? It would help flatulence if you had an upset stomach. Well, I remember the doctor saying he thought I had terminal flatulence. There you go. This stream moves so quickly. Turn my back for a moment, I lose my place. Susan Forrest, lovely to have you back. Dinky-Doo, you're back in your place. Tony, that's nice. That's nice, says Catherine. Going to go off now, Scotty. Hope you're back on tomorrow and I'm feeling a bit better. Dinky-Doo. Craig Cochrane, take care of your dear self. We send love and blessings to your intestine and we tell it to get strong and well. Who has tapped the dollar big style? Big style. I'm talking big style. I'm talking retirement here. Take care, our Craig. Can everybody say hi to Craig? Yes, you'll be sliding down the handrail. Gordon Robertson, I will use that, but I bet somebody argy-bargies with me and says, that's a banister. But you're right. You are actually quite right, the banister. Yes. And also, Gordon Robertson, do you remember when you had a dido rail or a dado rail in the house and you had a dado rail? Who's tapping the dollar big style? And I mean big style. I shall find out who's doing this and sending me money. You had a dado rail and you had dado paper. So you could actually have varnished anaglypta. Do you remember that, Gordon? A lot of the big hussies in the West End, I was in them as a student because they were kind of rooms and flatted and all that. You learn something new every day. We're just full of loads of information, loads of useless information, aren't we just? Thanks, Catherine. So there we go. Thanks, Gordon. And useful, of course. Oh, yes. By gum, lad. Aye, Glenn. Hey, I'll say the lad. Oh, by gum, aye. Oh, yes. Banisters and handrails and a bit like palings and railings. Yes, the palings. Now, tell us more about that, Gordon, the palings. Watch, he'd get stuck on the paling. Dear. I remember somebody telling me about a famous politician who said, yes, he came into the studio, I interviewed him. His breath would have stripped varnished anaglypta. I suppose so. Palings are verticals and railings are horizontal. So the palings are the sharp palings where you could be impaled. Am I right? So it's palings, P-A-L-I-N-G-S, palings. Am I right, Gordon Robertson? The spikes. And they took it all in the Second World War. They took all these railings away from all the houses in Scotland. And they thought it would help to make pots and pans and Spitfires, not realizing that Spitfires and pots and pans are aluminium, and these were cast iron. And apparently they dumped the bulk of them at sea. So there you go. So now you know. Politicians, mumps, measles, and rubella. I think it's rubella, isn't it, Davy Young? R-U-B-E-L-L-A, am I right? May I also recommend Stuart Clark, rhubarb and ginger gin with ginger ale? Sorry, Scotty. Please enjoy responsibly as always. Absolutely. Don't try that at home now, folks. That was for entertainment purposes only. Measles, mumps, and rubella. That's it, Stuart Clark, top man. Measles, mumps, rubella. Susan Forrest, thank you. The round circle of dots. I think I'm behind here, guys. The BCG was a tetanus jab. It hurt and gave me a phobia of needles. Yes. The best ones were your doctors that said, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a jag. You'll feel a slight prick. And they then went, bump, and stabbed you in the right place. And they sometimes stabbed you as they were talking, saying, just going to give you a jag. You shouldn't feel bump. And that was it. You're, oh, doctor. Scotty, you look exactly how you sound. You have a very kind, friendly face for YouTube or TV. Catherine Raven, what a lovely thing to say. It's always funny, isn't it? People wonder what's a radio person sound like. Nowadays, we've got all the streams going. and I don't know if it's good or not. I'm going to find out who's tapped the dollar big style. Scottie, you look excited. Oh, yes. Watched Working Mums on YouTube for the first time. Brilliant. Will subscribe. Kareem Zachariah has sent £1. That's £2, Kareem. God, and there are hundreds more. They're brilliant to binge watch. Ah, Catherine, I've been doing a wee bit of binge watching with that stick I got. Very interesting. Lovely words. Soap recipe takes about 30 minutes. I've never tried it. You need the help of home, EC, or science department. Ah, right, Welly Song. I thought you were maybe a soap maker. Wonderful. A very switched on lady, or a person, or whatever you like to be called. That weather was roasting the day, but never dried my washing. It was a humidity heat. No wind. No, and there was no wind outside either. So there you are. Kareem gave only $1. It's not. No, Ali. Kareem has given hundreds of dollars. Top it up, says the Archie. I'm poor. I don't have money. Kareem is rich, says Ali. Ali, Scottie McClue is free. You don't need to worry. People only give if they want to. It's lovely of them, and it's very much appreciated. But we never, ever, ever solicit for pennies. Scottie McClue is free. People very kindly and very generously give. You know, it's like a wee tip. You know, what do we leave for Scottie for a wee tip for tonight? You know, that's an idea. Bless your dog, Scottie. He is beautiful, Glenn. You'd love him. Will there be a wee clip tonight? Yes, I think so. I wonder if we should maybe have Susie or Mr. Martin tonight, in case this is our last one. We had the storm in Edinburgh a couple of hours ago. It was torrential rain, says Professor Numpty Heed. So there you are. But Numpty Heed, you should actually get yourself into your house. You know, that's the thing. You stand out in it probably. Scottie, did you know that the Black Root of St. Margaret, seized along with the Stone of Destiny in 1296 by King Edward I, supposedly came from the tree that was used as the cross for crucifixion? Robert Scrimger. I did not know that. I do now, and I am eternally grateful to you. Where is the Black Root of St. Margaret now, may I ask? I know where the Stone of Destiny is. Did it come up in 1996, the Stone of Destiny? Just trying to think, 1296, did we have an anniversary? 700 years when it came up. It came up on the Land Rover, didn't it? And it was guarded. The King's Own Scottish Borderers, I think, were guarding. I was at the Coldstream Guards. One of the border regiments, because it went through Coldstream in Berwickshire. Am I not right? So the Black Root of St. Margaret. Tell us more about it, Robert. This is wonderful. Could you imagine a piece of the tree that came from the crucifixion cross? This piece of wood was taken from the tree on which the wood for Christ's cross came. I wonder what wood the cross was. Does anybody know what wood Christ's cross was? And of course, St. Andrew, he wanted the diagonal cross. He wanted the diagonal cross. And the reason the saltire came into being was King Angus asked God for a sign on the day of battle. And the clouds parted, and there was the blue sky with a white diagonal cross. And that's how the saltire came into being, St. Andrew's flag. You know, the flag of St. Andrew. We need to do a lot more of this. Anthony says the belt only makes children scared of their teachers. It doesn't make them respect them. A lot of teachers overuse the belt. My late mum's arm ended up black and blue by her teacher. Poor mum, yes. Tut, tut, tuttity, tut. Anthony, you're quite right. A belt, a piece of nonsense. See, I'm not drunk with whisper wine coming out of the face of that. Absolutely. They're all very marvelous. So there you go. It's wonderful. Just a drop more. Strawberries, cherries, and an angel-kissing spring. So said Nancy Sinatra, you can make summer wine with all summer fruits. Remember the last of the summer wine. I've got to the bottom of it. The wonderful, lovely Maria Knight has given £10. Again, Maria, you mustn't be so generous, my darling. It's so beautiful of you. Thank you. And it goes to a very good cause, but you've been very, 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 very generous. Very, 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 very kind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, can we all thank Maria for her beautiful gift to the show tonight? Bless you, Maria. Thank you. It is just so good, you know. Ave Maria. Yes. Glenn Peacock has also put in £1. Glenn, naughty boy. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy indeed. So there we are. Beautiful people. Thank you, folks. Very kind. Kareem, Glenn, and Maria, thank you so much for your kindness. Appreciated. Bless you. Oh, my goodness. Tapping the dollar. I wonder, I got such a shock. Scottie, we use Facebook notice to let us know in the future when you decide to come back on. Absolutely, Kareem. It's just a question of working out some times, you know, and we might even make tomorrow. We shall see how it goes. But if I don't, you know, apologies. Well, no, I don't make apologies because this has been outstanding. Nothing can sully our streams. We're such beautiful people that have got together, met each other, had a bit of banter together, never knew each other before. Wonderful. A dado rail is about waist height. Picture rails are higher up. Yes. So my big flat in the West End, Gordon Robertson, had a drawing room. I didn't even know it was there when I was about to buy it. I thought, I wonder what's in here. Here was this huge drawing room. And it had a drawing room. It was an Edwardian flat. Drawing room with a dado rail and a picture rail. Wonderful. So you had the two. And the picture rail, of course, you hung your pictures with piano wire on a hook or little chains. Those kind of little link chains that you usually see on the hand basin. You know, you could hang it down with that. Wonderful. Maria, very kind. Absolutely the Archie. Very kind and very lovely and very beautiful. Was doing research on my family tree, found out they were full of nuts. Ivan McClue, the nut tree. I'll tell you what I did see today, a wee squirrel sitting up, absolutely upright, like a meerkat for quite a wee while. Very, very interesting. So, guys, I haven't done this tweet. There's going to be no end of trouble. We don't get the tweet going. What else can we put in the tweet? Right, I'll put that in. And what else can we put in the tweet? Something for the tweet, guys. Something for the tweet. Oh, my goodness me. Right, we'll stick that up there. And what else can I put in for the tweet? Does anybody know? Put that in. Put that in. Lovely. And what else have we got? This is for the tweet, guys. We're going to send this, and then we want to know how it goes, all right? Right. Okay, that's it. Right, I'm sending it now. If anybody's on Twitter, go to @Scottie McClue and retweet, please. I ask of you. Stuart Clark, stalactites and stalagmites. You could not get impaled in a stalagmite. You could get impaled on a stalagmite, but not on a stalactite. I remember when we all got told the difference between stalactites and stalagmites. Somebody said it's easy to remember. Mites go up and tights come down. And of course, as boys, we and then got told, grow up. Grow up. Why do blondes smile when there's lightning in the sky? They think God's taking their picture. I try not to think about the programmed response when I talk. Some people don't realize it's past family systems thinking that hold them back or causes the same old thinking that doesn't serve them. This is what I was trying to get across to Thomas, Catherine. You know, remember when he cheeked up about the royal family? And I was trying to get across to him, you know, you want to make your own decisions, not all this nonsense you've had. You know, he used to say to people, what do you vote? He said, always vote Labour, because Granny voted Labour. And, you know, you think, what's that got to do with it? You know, have a look at the candidates. Have a look at their policies. Have a look at the state of the world. The circle that showed up on your wrist then came back for the TB jab. And then you came back for the TB jab. A week later, TB, that's right, that was the biggest one. And I told you, he's a distant relative that cured the world of TB. Useless info when the salute came from when two people were jousting. They pulled down their face visor. Now, what was this for? Tell us more about that. What are we answering, Davey? BCG isn't tetanus. BCG's TB immunization. Gordon Robertson, where would McClue's stream be without you? Seriously. I'm not ripping the mince. I'm not working you from the back. You know, I'm not doing your leg here. Seriously, I have thoroughly appreciated, I don't want to swell your head, but I know I won't. I've thoroughly appreciated you on this stream because you bring so much wisdom. An extremely clever man. Could you imagine if you and I had got together on an idea? Oh, the stream is fabulous. There's nothing like it on YouTube. Catherine Raven, I will second that without any kind of equivocation. Is that the word, Gordon? Without equivocation. I will second that. The stream is fabulous and there is nothing on radio or television to touch it. Shall we find out if we've made any progress with the tweet? That's what I'm needing to find out. So I've just tweeted it. Let's see if we've made some progress. Anthony says, my doctor gave me a jab. He said, you'll feel like a small price. Said to him, there's no need to be personal. You'll feel like a small price. I wonder if the predictive text got you there. Yes, I think the predictive text got you there, Tony. Thanks for correcting me, Gordon Robertson. I remember the BCG hurting. There were, oh, absolutely. Mr. Martin, you want Mr. Martin on? Catherine says, yes, please, Mr. Martin on. I don't know who you're talking about till I hear it, perhaps. And P.S., another fantastic stream tonight. Loving this. We love you, Catherine Raven. Yep, gotcha. You're welcome, Anthony. I'm in a bit of a pedantic mood tonight. Gordon Robertson, we don't mind whatever mood you're in. You know, you're allowed to come on. Autograph. I'm a huge fan. Been here since the start of lockdown. Massive O, you are indeed, and you will get one. We just need to find a modus of communication. Thank you. I've just been freaked on Facebook by the missus. Can you say, Paula, enjoy cleaning the toilet. She's sitting beside me, kind of listening in. P.S. Love the content, says James Duffy. Paula Isaac, Dinky-Doo. James Duffy is talking to you. Welcome, Catherine. I was going to ask why it was on the flag. The St. Andrew's Cross. Oh, yes. Did I tell you there? That's right. St. Margaret is called the Pearl of Scotland. Yes, well, of course, St. Margaret's Chapel at Edinburgh Castle. Tiny little. And the St. Margaret was, I'm sure, one of the boats, or was the Mary Queen of Scots? No, it was the St. Margaret. Scottie, did you know, according to church history, St. Peter was crucified upside down, as he didn't feel worthy to be crucified the same as his Saviour? I didn't know that, Eddie Doyle, St. Peter. You see, if you think about it, pre-Reformation churches were Catholic. So St. Paul's would be Catholic in London, and St. Peter's. Now you're going, what's St. Peter's? I've never heard of that. St. Peter's is Westminster Abbey. And a switched-on commentator at a royal event will say, may I welcome you all to Westminster Abbey, the great church of St. Peter. So there you are, St. Peter's. And when Wren, after the Great Fire of London, was in what, 1666, was that right? When Wren was rebuilding St. Paul's, he took a bit of land from Westminster Abbey. And that's where you get the saying, robbing Peter to pay Paul. You know, somebody says to you, how are you getting on these days? Say, hand to mouth, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul. That sort of idea. That's where it comes from. There we are, the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul's. Why, Alistair? But that's very interesting. Not sure, remember, someone mentioned it. You're welcome, Scottish, says Glenn. I think St. Margaret Root was kept in Holyrood Abbey. Well, it's Holyrood Abbey was the Church of the Holy Rood, the Rod. Yes. She was a Catholic martyr, I believe. The Stone of Destiny should go back to Scone. Yes, Robert Scrimger. We will miss each other, Scottie, if you go away. I know, Catherine, but we'll never be far away. McClue's only in the next room all the time. There's a Cockney guy who liked two women in the church. He prayed to God about what girl he should have. He looked up at the stained glass window and it said, Ave Maria. There was a man from Bengal who went to a fancy dress ball. He dressed as a bun just for fun, and the dog ate him up in the hall. Very good, Archie, your poetry is blooming. Fascinating, I wish we could do this into the wee small earths. Oh, Catherine, yes, I'm sure we can do a bit. Soap tutorial, welcome, says the wonderful Welly song. Oh, I need a lie down, says Catherine Raven. Have one. Originally, drawing rooms were called withdrawing rooms. They were, Gordon Robertson, a room into which the family and guests could withdraw after a mean or for more privacy. I think you mean after a meal. It was for the ladies, actually. The ladies withdrew so the men could stay. And they used to say that the ladies would withdraw and the men would sit round the dinner table and tell dodgy stories. The truth was that the ladies went into the drawing room and told dodgy stories. And the men, I think the men went out for a quick waz in the garden. McAvoy Production, what's the weather like over there? It's roasting over here. Absolutely roasting. We're into a grease spot, McAvoy. But I'm much cooler because I've got LED lighting. I can actually touch the bulb. There we are. Before we used to have the hot lights. When a stalactite and a stalagmite fuse together, it's known as a limestone pillar. Absolutely, Robert Scrimger. Did you see the obstacles that could be hung up and the limestone pours on them and it petrifies them? They become stone. Absolutely incredible. Well, you look on YouTube, it shows you absolutely anything you could want to know. It's a great resource for information. Great resource for Scottie McClue. Yes, you see people voting because of what their parents did and said, says Catherine. You do, Catherine. And also when people say, why don't you come out with this? No, my mother used to say, don't. Your mother's no here. It's not your mother we're asking out. I don't vote. Every one of them are broken promises. Talking politicians are taking not stopping smoking because one or two people they know said it made them worse when they tried old family system thinking. I've been watching. Jerry Wise, an amazing life coach. Scottie, if you're away, I'll say good night. God bless and thank you for the lockdown memories. Dinky-Doo night, all and goodbye. Kareem Dinky-Doo, you haven't heard the clip yet. We're going to do a clip. Everybody's saying they wanted a clip. Sorry, my joke should have been my doctor gave me a jab. He said, yes. I said, that's right. Yes, good one, Tony. Absolutely. Kareem, we're not letting Scotty go tonight. No, stay on a bit, Kareem. We're going to have a clip in a minute. There's also belief that Jesus was born in a cave. Well, why would they say he was born in a manger? Unless there was a wee cave outside. He was certainly taken to a cave after he was crucified, when he was taken down and taken to his friend's garden. There we are. Does anybody know whose garden he was taken to? Night, Kareem. Stay safe at work. Stay safe at work, Kareem. You are a top man. You're a legend, Scotty, a pure national treasure. So are you, Glenn Peacock and Dinky-Doo. We'll be popping up through the night, Scotty. Not tonight, numpty head, because I may have to do some prep. I've always wondered what a lady's excuse me is. Tony Mac, a lady's excuse me is a dance. When the ladies had to wait for a gentleman to ask them to dance. There was a dance called a lady's excuse me, and that meant she could go round the dance floor, tap her friend in the shoulder and say, excuse me. A bit like guys saying, may I just cut in? Oh, might squat tights come down, Jack B. I showed my auntie her boyfriend in an old call earlier from Susie. They were in hysterics. Glenn Peacock, we might have us. Susie or Mr. Martin tonight, which one? My dad would not allow jokes like that in front of his wife or child. That's what makes me cringe to this day. Man jokes are for the men with men. Absolutely, Catherine. That's why I didn't tell it. Anthony, we call it a jag, and I'm a Thistle supporter. We are the Jaggers, Jaggy Bonnets. Some jokes are just for the pub, says Catherine. Quite right, Catherine. Well, I didn't tell it, you see. Scotty, when we do the late pop-up, well, just whenever we're doing it. Mr. Martin, says Glenn. You want to hear Mr. Martin? Do you want to hear Mr. Martin 1? Right, Kareem, if you're still with... Oh, let's see who's followed Scotty on Twitter at SCOTTIE McCLUE. Please get on. The numbers for the tweet... Wow. Absolutely amazing. I love it. And still going up. Guys, that was some tweets, I can tell you. Well done, the Twitterers. There we go. Now, I think we got a retweet there, didn't we? If I remember. I'll see if I can get another one. There we are. That's fantastic, guys. Absolutely outstanding. This is an incredible. This is a resource we've got here. Quite right, Catherine Raven. And Welly Song says, I've got a certificate to say for coronavirus basic awareness and production training. We're allowed to share equipment, phone charger if cleaned. Welly Song, I love to hear what's going on out there. Top person. Thank you for that. Fantastic. Now, right, let's get off this bit. This is amazing. And let's get on to... Oh, no, in fact, let's not. Yes, let's hold on there, boy. Hold on there, boy. I tell you. Is that the right one? I've heard that. Right. And what I'm going to do... Just going to do one more share and then we'll straight into a clip. And we'll do Mr. Martin's first night as a wee treat for you all. Yeah. Yeah, Scotty. A wee treat. Guys, if anybody's on Reddit, come and follow me. Scotty_McClue. It's good stuff. There we are. Right, never mind that just now. A little, let's do a little clip. So we'll do Mr. Martin. I'll see if I get this going. Right, here we go. Okay, Mr. Martin. Right. Yes. Okay, we've got Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin. And what I'll do, guys, I'll have to get a little bit of volume for you, know the score. Has anybody subscribed? Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And don't not do it. Actually go, no, I will. I'm going to do it now. Please just do it. Don't, because I know every channel says, yeah, sure, subscribe. And you think, no, I'll not bother just now. So do always subscribe to Scottie McClue and tell your mates to do the same, because it is the lifeblood of our live stream on here. If you've enjoyed Scottie McClue for 28 years, right, I'm ready. If this is too loud, you let me know.
Hello. Mr. Martin.
Hello.
Is that okay?
Hello. Right, listen, I've been listening to your show.
Yes?
And quite frankly, if you don't mind me saying so, it is the worst program I have ever heard on the radio.
And you listen to the radio?
Yeah, well, I see, my sister, I'm stopping at my sister's at the moment.
Yes.
And let me tell you this. She said, have you heard this program? So I've told her, and I'll tell you what, it is a disgrace.
Well, I'll tell you...
And I'm going to complain about the way you put people up.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you something, Mr. Martin. I am surprised.
Mr. Martin.
Yeah, all right. I'm surprised that your sister can put up with you because you're an obnoxious old
How
fool.
dare you?
You're an obnoxious old fool.
I want an apology of you.
You get nothing like an apology of me.
I have been in this business.
Mr. Martin, you're an obnoxious old fool. Now, have we got that straight?
You are despicable.
I don't care.
I want an apology of you, and I want it now.
Apology, because I have nothing to apologize about to you.
You know, I just cannot believe this.
Well, you better start believing it, because I'll tell you, it's time you pinned back your luggles, Mr. Martin.
You know, I just can't believe it. I am 72 years of age. I'm playing in the war. And I'll tell you what, I've never had to put up with complete idiots like you. Now, I don't want to apologize or not.
You've spent the last 50 years of your life pleading on the fact that you happen to be in the war.
Have you ever been in one?
Have
you ever been in one?
Were you a cook or something like that?
Have you ever been in one? No, you haven't, because people like you wouldn't dare go in one.
I may well have been in the war.
No, you have not.
All right.
If you've been in the war, you would know how to speak to someone like me.
What do you mean speak to someone
like me? I have come up from England to listen to this utter claptrap. I can't wait to go back.
Mr. Martin, we'd all be obliged if you'd go back to England. I'm very sorry for your poor sister. I've walked all over the place. What do you mean where I came from? That's none of your business.
Are you going to apologize or not?
No, I am certainly not going to apologize.
I am going to write. I'm going to write.
You write to anybody you like, Mr.
I am.
All right.
I want an apology.
Write to me, okay, and I'll rip your letter off.
This is your last chance. I'm going to give you one chance.
Yeah, well, you give me as many chances as you like.
If you don't apologize, you are going to be in serious
trouble. All right, yeah, we've heard all that. Is this what you used to give the Germans during the war?
Well, I gave the Germans. See, you go away, you.
Oh,
like a lot of Scottish people who run away from the enemy. People like you. I see, I've lived
I haven't run away from you.
I've been in the army with Scottish people. I tell you what, the Scottish people are a race that are frightened of war. And people like you, see, you're on your own mouth. And yet when people are there putting on a point of view to you, it's quite plain in my mind that you are frightened of hearing the truth. So you cut people off. And that's you. You're a coward.
How dare you talk to me like that? I'll tell you something, mate.
Far from me.
Owing you an apology. You owe the listeners to this radio station one massive apology.
You always have been.
You're a guy. You see, it's on your mind.
People like you.
You've never seen a trench in your life. The only trench you've ever been in is one that you've fallen into because you've been so pissed. I'll tell you something. Listen, I'm not going to...
I'm not Scotsman I've ever known. You're all mouth.
I'm not going to take any more of this from you, all right, matey? Now, you write to who you like, right? I'm a very, very busy man. I am a very, very busy man, and I don't have time for any more of your crap. Right, I've sorted him out.
Ooh, and he comes on the next night, which we'll hear at another stream. What do we got here? Quite right, Catherine, says Anthony. I'll stay for the clip, says Kareem. Good man, Kareem. Scottie, would I be able to get a shout out for the intro I'm making on YouTube? Absolutely, McAvoy. Yes. What do you need? Play the one with the bad mother and her 3 wee bees. Oh, Professor Numpty, you're so naughty. You'll get McClue hung, I say. There's a free app on Play Store called The Chosen. It's a series about Jesus. Some top actors in it. It's a great film series. Jesus is funny in it. You don't need to be religious. It's really good. Fantastic. Scottie, better head to bed. I probably have a hangover in the morning. If this is your last broadcast, it's been a privilege and a pleasure. And may our paths meet again, good sir. Absolutely, Robert Scrimger. And they will. You know, McClue's not going anywhere. We're just going to, McAvoy, what's your stream called? It's a video I'm making, Catherine, of YouTube channels that I watch. It will be on my channel. Absolutely. I say Dinky-Doo to McAvoy Productions. This is Scottie McClue saying Dinky-Doo to you, to Mr. McAvoy himself. Ha-ha. Never a dull moment. You will love this video. Thank you to Mr. McAvoy. When my dad would say, can you keep it down to a dull roar? Yes, was that too loud, Catherine? What's he like? Gotta feel sorry for his sister who obviously knows how to take Scottie. Is your channel your name here? I'd like to have a look. My channel is Scottie McClue, the world's top talk show. That's my channel, Catherine. This is epic, says the Archie. Are you loving it, Archie? It's quality, isn't it? Quality chat. Scottie, you wouldn't be hung, you would be hanged. Oh, Gordon Robertson, absolutely. Yes. Yes, hung means something else, doesn't it? So that's the idea. He got hung, he got hanged, he got hung, he got hanged. So when would you say he got hung then? You know? Men are only hung in the underwear department, but when a noose is used, they are hanged. You know, well, there were many hanged in Glasgow, you know, absolutely. Originally down, I think, at Glasgow Green, and it was said that they would die facing the monument. You know, the big monument at Glasgow Green to Lord Nelson, I think it is. And people used to get hung there at the Gallows Gate on the gallows there. People say about it, Scottie, it's been a privilege. Hope to hear you on the radio once again someday or see you on TV. Once the coronavirus, I'm going to speak to some of the commercial television companies and say, what are your objections? I mean, they're bound to sort of say to me, oh, well, you're knocking on a bit, Scottie, you know, and all that. Do you really want to do all that kind of nonsense? There's always a reason why they don't want, but then when they get it, and we found this in radio, once they got it, I remember a very senior man in television and ITV saying to me, we don't actually know what we're looking for here, but we'll know exactly when we get it. And at first I thought, that sounds a bit strange, but it was quite right. It's quite right. Sometimes in television you think, you know, and you can be speaking to, say, a commissioning editor. Goes, no. I would never look at anything like that. And then another one goes, are you for real? Yes, I want this. You know, and boom, you know, off goes their career. I mean, the number of careers that I've made out of my career, you know, senior managers and all the rest of it, because we made them famous because they had Scottie McClue on their station. Fantastic. You know, never a dull moment. So there we are. Absolutely, Glenn Peacock. I thank you. William Wallace was hung, drawn, and quartered. Yes, Robert Scrimger, there's a point. Gordon Robertson. Robert Scrimger's got a point. William Wallace was hung, drawn, and quartered. You didn't hear that he was hanged, drawn, and quartered. Am I correct? I ask you. I humbly ask you. I beg your indulgence. So there we are. I used to live in what was a hangman's house, an old Tudor pub in England. Oh, Paul Acos. My goodness me. Mind you, Albert Pierpoint, who was the hangman when I was wee, I didn't know anything about it. I found this later. And I was in Lancashire when Albert died. He had a pub in Southport, and he liked to have a beer and things like that. He was a beer drinker and a cigar smoker. And he got fined a shilling when he'd hanged somebody, but he was terribly, terribly good at his rather dark trade that was required at the time. So there we go. Terrible feeling, though. Scottie, stay in touch with us the last stream. We will, Glenn, yes. You're not too old, Scottie. You're needed in this world. Don't make them like you anymore, says Catherine Raven. Don't make them like you anymore. Sorry about that. Don't make them like you, I thought you said. You're not too old, Scottie. You're needed in this world. They don't make them like you anymore. I've got you now. Yes, meat is hung, says Alistair Campbell. Yes, you could. Pheasants were hung, weren't they? Lord Ballerino and Lord Kilmarnock were offered, though, to be hanged, drawn, and quartered, says Robert Scrimger, for their part in the 45 rebellion. Robert Scrimger, can I correct you here? It was not a rebellion, it was a rising. Very important we have that. The rebellion was put around by the English people to say these Scots are rebelling. The Scots were rising. The Jacobites were rising. They chose beheading. Poor Mary Queen Scots. Scottie, is this your last stream, McAvoy Productions? I think it might be just for a wee while till we see what's doing. And we'll keep in touch and we'll come back on. So there we are. But we're not finishing on talking about hanging, for goodness sake. Well, there you are. But absolutely incredible. No, the stream has just been wonderful, McAvoy. You know? So I'll save for the bits. This is Scottie McClue talking to McAvoy Productions just for you. Dinky-Doo. You might get a wee snippet there. People say hung, drawn, and quartered, but it ought to be hanged. In fact, the drawing took place before the hanging. Yes, it did. The quartering. So what was the drawing? Was that when you dragged them, you drew them round the square, and then you connected 4 horses and quartered them, and then they were hanged? Or did you draw them and hang them and then quarter them? I don't know. Ivan McClure, no, you're better off using a noose. No, don't do all this now. Stop. I'm not finishing on this note. The convicted man was drawn behind a horse cart or to the gallows where he was put to death. Right, I've got it. But I don't want to finish our stream on this kind of note. I want to finish our stream on something much cheerier. So there we go. So let's say something cheery. Shall I say the goodbye song, Gordon, so that you don't actually think, oh no, don't want to make it sound. Right, guys, this is not goodbye. This is adieu pour le moment. This is au revoir. This is bonne nuit. And we'll see you all soon. Thank you so much for all the support. I'll keep you in touch with what's what. And if we can pop up, we shall pop up. We will do that. And it's been an absolute blast. Every single one of you, without equivocation, is a beautiful person. And a beautiful person in your own right. Thank you for coming and joining me. Thank you for coming and joining me. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all the joy and the laughter and the fun and the banter. It was a wee lockdown special, and it's just grown and grown and grown. And thank you so much for that. It really is appreciated. But I have also loved popping up. I hope my tiny and very modest contribution has been enjoyed That's all I would say. And I'll say you the goodbye song. Are you ready? Goodbye, everybody, goodbye. Take care, everybody, as you go. Take care, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. And a cheerio. Bon nuit, my darlings. Take great care of your dear selves. Dinky-Doo. Ta-ra, lads. Bless you.